Okay, this is for microbiology. The first thing I want to do is I want to spray off my section. So move those out of the way. Spray it off. Let it disinfect. Wipe down my area. Throw that away. I let my micro incinerator turn on for 10 minutes so it's nice and heated. And now I'm going to transfer. First, I'm going to start with transferring from broth to broth. So first, I am going to heat that up for 10 seconds, making sure to go past just the point of it. 10 seconds. I will let that cool for a minute. Okay, a minute has gone by. We can pretend. I can just wait actually. Let that cool. I can open the lid at the same time, and I'm going to make sure that it's being micro incinerated, at least the top, so no bacteria gets in on the outside. I'm going to dip it in. Let that swish around a little bit. And then I'm going to open this one as well. Maybe. Gonna let that cool off a little bit. I'm going to transfer bacteria into this one. I'm going to swish it around to make sure all of it gets in there. Swish, swish, swish. Okay, going to pull it out. I'm going to micro incinerate that for 10 seconds. I'm going to let that cool for 10 minutes. I'll put that down. Okay, I'm gonna micro incinerate the first broth A. Let that cool for a little bit. Make sure get all the bacteria off that could have possibly gone in. Cap that back. Put that away. I'm gonna micro incinerate this one as well. Make sure all the broth that could have gotten the bacteria that could have gotten outside gets all destroyed. Then I'm going to let it cool a little bit, and I'm going to cap that back and put it standing upright. Okay. That's test tube to test tube. Now I'm going to do from agar plate to agar plate. So I'm going to grab my inoculating loop again. I'm going to micro incinerate for 10 seconds. Going to let it cool for a minute. Okay, I'm going to only lift it so it opens like a clamshell. I'm going to, holding it like a pencil, I'm going to scoop across, not scoop, because you don't want to get into the agar. So I'm going to slide it gently across the top of the bacteria. I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to pick up the other agar plate, open it in the same way like a clam, slide it gently over the top of the agar as to not puncture the agar at all. Slide over the top. You can do, depending on how you want to do it, you could do like in 1/3 of it, or however you'd like. Run it over the top, take that out, put that down, run that back through the micro incinerator for 10 more seconds. I'm gonna let that wait for for a minute. I'm not sure if I actually have to do the full minute, so I'm going to wait for a minute. And now that is all clean, so I can move those. I will label my plates, going around the edge of the plate, not on top in the middle, so I'm going to be labeling on the edge there. Move that out of the way. Okay, and now for scenario number 3, I'm going to be moving bacteria from the test tube to an agar plate. So first, I'm going to micro-incinerate. Get all the bacteria off for 10 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit, cool down for a minute. Okay, we're gonna say that's a minute. I do not have a timer. So the loop is all inoculated. I'm gonna pull the lid off, make sure it doesn't end on anything. I'm gonna disinfect with the micro incinerator for 10 seconds. Around 2 to 3 seconds. Let it disinfect the outside. I'm going to dip my inoculating loop in, get some of the bacteria on that. And then I'm gonna micro incinerate for 2 to 3 seconds as to not get any of the outside bacteria into the broth. I'm going to close that back up once it's all cooled and disinfected. Put that down. I'm then going to open the petri dish again in a clam type way, so as not to open it all the way and let other bacteria fall in. I'm gonna take the inoculating loop that has bacteria on it, slide it over the top. Okay, make sure not to puncture the agar like I mentioned before. Holding it like that pencil at a low angle. Take it out, close that lid, make sure no bacteria gets inside. I'm then going to micro incinerate again for 10 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool for 1 minute. I believe I can let that wait there while I do that. I'm going to put my petri dishes to the side, or where they are going respectively. I'm assuming they would go in an incubation or something of the sorts, whatever the requirement is. So I'm going to put those back. I'm going to turn off my micro incinerator so as to I do not need it anymore. So I'm going to do that. So that is off. I'm going to put my broths in their respective spots, either discarding of them the proper way or saving them, depending on what the experiment calls for. Move that out of the way. And then last but not least, I'm going to wash my hands. I am going to wipe down my bench. Wipe down my bench. Okay, and then I'm going to wash my hands again, just because I want to be extra careful, and you should always wash your hands coming to and leaving the lab. I believe that is everything.